Hello and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I am going to discuss with you guys the political permutations that could lead to an Atiku victory in the upcoming Nigerian presidential elections. Now, before we carry on, I think that we are all agreed that the most likely winner of that election would either be Atiku or Buhari. This is the widely held belief. Now, personally, I think Sowore will and should win. I think that there's a silent revolution taking place in Nigeria, the size of which will surprise and catch a lot of people off guard come February 16. But that is a topic for a separate video. That is not the topic for this video. Going back to what we have as held beliefs, that the president is likely to come from either Atiku or Buhari, I feel that Atiku has the edge, and here is why. There's a clear divide between Atiku and Buhari. Buhari is perceived by a core but large following as the anti-corruption candidate. Now, I say perceived because Buhari, of course, is not anti-corruption. Buhari, in fact, is one of the most corrupt Nigerian leaders that there has ever been. And I have addressed this, by the way, in previous videos, but I digress. Nevertheless, Buhari is perceived as an anti-corruption candidate by a large core following. Atiku, on the other hand, and we're leaving the corruption charges leveled against Atiku to one side for the moment. So Atiku, on the other hand, is perceived as the pro-business, pro-democracy, pro-development candidate. He was a key part, indeed, the vice president in the Obasanjo regime, which, in spite of all the abuse that regime gets, if you look at the achievement records, you will actually see that a lot was achieved during that regime. So that is the divide. Buhari wearing the anti-corruption toga, and Atiku with a reputation for business and development. So now, why am I saying that Atiku is likely to win the Nigerian presidential election if it is a fair fight? That is, we're presuming now that it will be a fair fight, which we all know is probably not likely to be. Well, we're going on the premise of it being a fair fight. So now, why am I saying that Atiku is likely to win the Nigerian presidential election if it is a fair fight? Well, let us first examine Buhari, then we will look at Atiku, then we will draw our conclusions. President Buhari, as I said, has a large core following, and a lot of his following are, of course, based on ethnicity and religion. Now, having said that, he still does have a following right across the country, but the core of his following are essentially based around ethnicity and religion. Buhari followers are a core set of followers who do not really grow in numbers. The reason why Buhari won the 2015 election was not because his popularity grew, but because other vested interests added their weight to the Buhari phenomenon and thus created a critical mass, and that was how that election was won. Now, the reason why I think Buhari will lose the next election is first, Buhari is going into the next election now completely demythified. It is now no longer the case that when Buhari gets there, he will fix everything. Buhari has now been there for roughly 4 years now and has been a spectacular failure. Rather than fix anything, everything has fallen apart. The people who thought that Buhari had any capacity now have had the wool pulled from their eyes. Also, the middle belt are unlikely to vote for Buhari after Buhari abandoned them to his clansmen, the killer herdsmen, who were going on a killing spree in that region for a long period. Buhari's biggest toga also now is not one that he wears alone. A lot of the newer candidates, Sowore, Moghalu, etc., are also riding the crest of that anti-corruption wave. And since Nigerians have now concluded that the Buhari anti-corruption stance is in fact just a political witch hunt, we are all familiar with the Babachir story, and we all saw the videos of the Kano governor pocketing dollars and many other similar type examples. So now Buhari is no longer the anti-corruption candidate that people thought he was. There are other more credible candidates within that space now, so the anti-corruption votes are now split. So now, remember we said earlier that Buhari never had enough of a following to have ever won an election by himself at any point in time. We also said that that he has a core following and he has not done anything that would have attracted or added to those numbers. So if his following is being dissipated because he has been demythified and his followings are being consumed by new entrants into the space that he occupies, and he has never had a large enough of a following to have won an election in the first place, then it is a real struggle to see how he can win the next election, unless of course it is rigged. So now we go on to Atiku. Atiku is an experienced politician who has held a high office for long periods in Nigeria. He's a successful businessman and a reasonably detribalized Nigerian. Now, a lot of noise was made about corruption charges against Atiku. They cited the fact that even his boss Obasanjo has accused him, accused Atiku of corruption. But you have to wonder if there wasn't a political undertone to that Obasanjo accusation. Obasanjo made the accusation during his third term bid attempt. So that was the time that Obasanjo was attempting to go for a third term. And Atiku, of course, did not support this attempt. And we all know that Obasanjo likes to fight dirty. So that might well explain that. It is curious anyway that with all the hue and cry about corruption regarding Atiku, he has not once been arraigned before court, never mind being convicted of a corruption charge. We all heard for months how Festus Keyamo, the APC spokesperson, and a band of APC hecklers went round all media houses shouting that Atiku cannot visit America. But in a master stroke of political maneuvering, Atiku suddenly appeared in America, meeting with business leaders, American politicians, Nigerians in diaspora, and so on. Now, with Atiku challenging and quelling a lot of these corruption allegations that has been leveled against him, that was the one trump card that the APC thought that they had against him. So with that being blunted, that trump card of corruption and not being able to visit America, with that trump card now being blunted, the APC, are now resorting to outright intimidation and abuse of power. We recently saw Lai Mohammed on the news threatening Atiku with arrest because of some alleged default loan that led to the collapse of some private bank. So this is what they are now resorting to now. They are now scraping the bottom of the barrel and looking for mud to sling. Atiku, of course, has always been a savvy political operator. He has always known how to maneuver within the political space. He now has the APC political structure behind him. He has the backings of people like Kwakwanzo, Saraki, and many others. So, with his stock rising and Buhari hemorrhaging votes, all roads in the upcoming elections actually point and lead to an Atiku victory. That, of course, is if it is a free and fair election, which we all know there's a very slim chance of that ever being the case in Nigeria. So there you have it. That is my assessment of the goings on. That is my reading of how the elections should pan out. We have the conversation in the comment sections as usual. Let me know what your thoughts are. So I'll leave you here. Meet you in the comment section. I'll say peace.